sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 15-1. 15-1.
Now a play fake here on first down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated.
And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Here comes Grant on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
Do you almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 2nd and 9, Minshew. It's caught. Humphries. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He gets this one to Johnson. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Minshew, and that's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here's Minshew, and he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready? 50, play.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Get it. Clear.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. He finds his man Johnson. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
70, Indy.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. It'll be Minshew again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play. On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And on third down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Prescott, and able to find Dorsett. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. They run with Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This is Breida. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On third down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Here we go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 2nd and 2, Prescott. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A first down throw for Prescott, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now it's Breida. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
47.
First down, Prescott. This is caught, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Philip Dorsett with touchdown number 7 on the year. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start second half.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
From the 27, Minshew. His throw incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them. And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Prescott looks to throw on first.
Come on.
Dropping the hammer off the edge.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now a give to Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Third and long for Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Off play action, it's Minshew. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And an alley to run. He's got a first down past the 30. Back now in Arlington. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. On the handoff, this is Breida. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. They'll run on first down. Hines. And now a fumble. The ball's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now it's Hines. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Prescott toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Philip Dorsett with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
that is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? 8-3.
Come on, QB, come on.
Ready?
So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's... down. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Returnable for Grant. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the... Miami offensive unit now, they get set to take over. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll toss it to Breida. And he's got room. 38 yards on the scamper there.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Prescott now. Open man is Samuel, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's Hines. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 2nd and goal, Prescott. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back.